Hello, hello, hello. Hope you all doing well. Welcome back to the stream. I'm gonna be looking for a sell here with the London Open. See if we can get stuck in. Yeah, market's been quite interesting. Quite interesting so far this week. You know, we're down 0.90%. Even though, you know, Trump is supposed to be speaking today, technically we should be moving up, but yeah, we're currently like still pushing down bearish. See if we can break these lows, potentially look for a sell. We are down almost 1% here on the daily time frame. Daily candlesticks, if you look at the daily, it's just moving up bullish. So it looks good on the daily. But the intraday candles are a little bit choppy. But you know, we got Trump speaking today, so that's going to be quite important. I believe after the talks today, we should see a little bit more cleaner follow-throughs, more towards bullish direction. But right now, price is kind of like in a range. So we're at the top of the range over here. We got a few rejection wicks currently here. Waiting to see if we can break below this support and get through this level here to keep moving down towards this is 51.66. All right, we're coming in hot. Honestly, this be the London Open distribution. Want to get a solid break of the lows here by 51.74. A 5-minute SMA in our favor in Confluence. I think that's the 8 SMA. Looks like we closed right at that 1-minute support. The thing is, it could just start ripping down at any moment right now. Because, you know, we are quite heavily bearish on the daily. Candle here is about to close in like a few seconds. Still the same entry, it seems. This next candle has to do the break. All right, I'm in. All right, gotta secure something over here. Stop loss to break even. Nice. TP there got smashed. Very good. Congratulations if you caught this move here. I'm in and I'm out. I'm in and I'm out. I'm in and I'm out. Yeah, but looking just for sells today. Yeah, quick little one-to-one for the chat. Let's go. Hey, good morning, good morning. I'm pretty much done for the day. I'm not planning on trading that much today, to be honest, you guys. Currently up right now. How much are we up on the day? We are up to about 4.38. 4.38%. I'm down for the day. So let's see where price is heading to right now. A price should be heading down still towards that support. So this is the overall range that we should heading down towards. Like it's about 72 pips over here by 51.66. We just peaked at around 34 pips over there. That's still slightly above a 1-to-1, I suppose, but yeah, there's still a lot more room here for price to keep moving down, all the way down towards that level. That's it, man. TFX concepts done and dusted today. Hey, good morning, Ricardo. Yeah, this is a clean range we're mopping up here. From that wick, it's only about like 27 pips left off right over here. 27 pips once you break this low, because essentially we're trading the accumulation. So the whole idea here is price is at a resistance. So we got resistance over here, we got support down over here, correct? So if we're at resistance, then what's the probability with entry confirmations that price is going to come down to retest support? That you're going to have a stronger probability, because we're just moving sideways currently right now. Well, just got up today, taking it slow. Yeah, today's going to be quite an interesting day. Quite an interesting one. With Mr. Trump. See what he's gonna be. We'll see how he delivers the tariffs, and if he mentions anything about Iran. Come on, start your day right. Effect. Trump sued over tariff powers again by March 31st. Doesn't seem like there's anything too interesting there. What places Trump mentions? Trump out as president. I was watching Woods here taking a walk this morning. Now rainy it is. Bro, it's also getting cold where I live. Now I'm just getting ready for any kind of cold. So I'm trying to drink this juice every morning. So it's just ginger. You got ginger, or is it ginger, a fruit, lemon, and green tea. Yeah, but let's see, how much should we peak at? Like about 45. 45. Right there. 20 pip stop loss. Target was about 20 pip TP. It doesn't look big. It doesn't look big to y'all, but I'm not here to make things look pretty. I'm here to make money. So most of our trades, they don't last. Like 20 pips is quite a lot. Like before, 20 pip trade would take a really long time. Like it would take a little bit longer to play out in the recent years. In anything before 2025. Nowadays, it seems small. It seems like 10 pip, 20 pip. But the idea is not the pips. The idea is percentage gains that you want to look at. Or yeah, pretty much. Did you ever take a trade? Yeah, we're to take a trade. Tell you, we don't waste time. Like the system, this is the system. You know, this is like everything has been timed perfectly here. So we try to limit the amount of chart time that we have. Like literally this morning, I was on the chart for 21 minutes. We're on the chart here for 4 minutes. and they say scalping, you're not gonna have freedom, so you gotta go swing trading. What kind of nonsense is that, eh? I tell you, like some of these things in our industry that have been said, it just doesn't make any sense to me. Swing trading, man, swing trading, you gotta be in the trade the whole freaking day, the whole week. You know, here we're done for the day already in a maximum of 25 minutes. We're 26 minutes, 25 minutes. Yeah, a maximum of 25 minutes trading time today. And on average, maybe we can say like an hour. Yesterday, oh man, yesterday I got rinsed by the market. I also had a loss during pre-New York. But at least the pre-NY loss, I could reduce my risk on that one because I was also risking like about a little bit more there. So I was able to reduce my risk. Pre-NY, man, that trade was so nice. You know, it was so nice. It still ended up playing out over here. You know, because the idea was like, okay, so we're going to manage our risk and, you know, price should start moving up at that point. And then eventually it did what we wanted it to do, which was to fill up that range, but it was kind of choppy, right? So this week the market has been whipsawing a little bit because of the news with the tariffs. You know, like Trump's gotta have a law on his plate now. He's gonna give us the tariffs, and once we're done with the tariffs, we're gonna move over. I think it's gonna be more focused on the war now. So those are the two major things that we have to look forward to. Yeah, yesterday was tough though. First got caught up in a glitch. What happened? I think... Yeah, I got a glitch over here. Oh yeah, first it was choppy, got caught in choppiness. Got caught in like a lot of choppiness, and then there was a freaking glitch that invalidated my trade, which rarely happens. I've never seen that specific glitch happen. And then beautiful clean range. Then that one also got rinsed by the consolidating markets. So I'm like, you know, it's all right. It came back today. Markets were a little bit opened up. Now you see the winds now rolling in a bit. Got more winds here rolling in now. But it's normal because the month has already been pretty decent so far. So the more you trade, the more you're gonna get into speed bumps as well. Got speed bumps here as we're approaching towards the end of the month. Got about three more days here. Then we're gonna wrap up February as one of my best months. Right now up about 50%, 56% on February. Up about quite nicely here on the year as well. And Mr. Donald Trump will be facilitating some more pips for us. Where like even on the speech he was talking about his tariffs, he was talking about one of his buddies. He was like, you should see his portfolio, his stock portfolio. It's amazing. It's amazing, his stock portfolio. Imagine, man, like this guy is he's just letting you all know that him and his buddies are getting rich. You should see his stock portfolio. But the good thing is, you know, when Trump gonna make his buddies rich, is also gonna make everybody else rich because he's gonna move the market, correct? He is going to move it, and we're gonna be here waiting to see if gold can go up. Go up some more over here towards resistance. You see, we're midway. We're midway to fill the range. We're getting some gap fills over here. We got about 1,655 pips FDR for price to keep moving up. And then, you know, price can continue to move up like this towards that next resistance, which is 55.98, the ATH. Man, I can't wait for GT. I think my internet is glitching. Just play some GTA. Oh, make a lifestyle video. Hey everybody, day in the life. I'm going to a car dealership right now. I just got myself a truck. Gonna get this truck here delivered. $500,000. Hey, y'all see that ICT guy who exposed himself? What's his name? Wieland? Oh, not Wieland, sorry. It starts with weird line. Something weird line. Wait, let me see if I can bring it up. He said, guys, ICT actually doesn't work. I've just been... You know why ICT got big? I think it's because also in 2020 there was a lot of exposed traders, and ICT was one of the only ones who were providing some kind of real value to the community. During that 2020 to 2021, there was a lot of these other traders who were getting exposed. I don't know if you hadn't started trading in 2020, then you may not know who these people are, but there were some pretty big names over there. And I see now the range is getting filled. Range getting filled down towards support. Amazing. This was the whole idea over here that we spoke about today. This was the whole idea that we wanted to see gold do here today. It indeed did pull back. Let's see how much that drawdown was though. From here to here, just about 15.5 pips. 16.5 would have survived as well. 16.5 a sell would have survived this move. But we went with a 20. I'm trying to find the video of the guy. Yeah, I think this one right here. His name is Justin Weirline, and he's got 257k subs. He deleted the video, but there's people who downloaded the video already. But yeah, he's got like loads of subs. He's pretty strong gap filler. He likes his gaps being filled, so he ended up filling everybody's gap over here and said, sorry guys, I'm actually not profitable. So that's why I made this rule over here. This is Justin. This is Justin. Why don't you guys like my reel? We need the community, the ICT community, to get to start commenting, oh, look at this guy, blah 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 blah. We need those haters in the chat. If we could make this viral, we can step on people's toes. It's gonna be really funny to watch. But yeah, this is Justin Weirlin. It's actually in his name. We are lying. Justin, we are lying. 257k subs, and this is the guy you're learning ICT from. $26,540 trading futures, $23,000 trading futures. See candlesticks, oversaturated content, fractals explained. What is it? Breakout structure. 103k views. Crazy. Insane. The 4 ICT concepts that actually matter. Ignore everyone else, and you still wondering why you're at break even for so many years. Look at this. This is why, man, like when I started with TFX concepts, I needed to find a way that made sense to me. That made sense to me, that the way that the markets move, you know? But anyway, like price has come down. It's filled the range. About what? It's peaked at about 80, 89, 90 pips. Still going. I think, you know, that the thing is, like, when you're gonna be looking for a runner like this as well, you're always gonna have a higher chance to catch that runner. Of course, if you're trading with that daily bias. See, so you got daily bias over here is bearish. All right, so that's why I don't really look too much at all the other structure. Like, even if the daily, technically speaking, looks like bullish, like this, I don't focus on this. I focus more on what's currently happening in the market right now. As we can see, market is coming down. So we're going to trade like the volume that there is. You see, since that the Asia open, we had price come, boom, 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 just completely melt off. So we're trading like in confluence with where the market activity is on this specific day. I think that's when you typically get the best type of results. Because I even noticed, like, you can still get these buys. You see, like, we had like a range here as well that got mopped up. So we got from point A, nice little accumulation, manipulation, break of the highs, filled up the range to resistance, and then price came down. Like, you can still catch these trades. They are pretty good moves to catch, but that would be the limit, yeah, by resistance right over here. But with these type of trades, when you're with the daily trend, then, you know, the limit increases to what it can do. Like, it's much more probability, that's all. So even if we have a support right here from point A to point B, it can still have a better chance to get through that level and just keep melting off. Definitely not a bad day. Oh, buy day. Definitely not a buy day. Yes. Man respected that guy, but now I'm wondering. But at least he revealed himself. Got to give him credit. I mean, you know, anyway, that guy's channel. The weird thing is, the YouTube algo suggested me one of his videos about maybe like 4 days ago, something like that. Before that, I never knew who he was, but it's crazy, like just 4 days ago. And then now it's such a big thing, and I just discovered him like recently. It's almost like the YouTube algo was like, watch this guy is about to do something stupid. You know what I mean? So that's also like similar systems they have in, I think, in like, you know, in China with their credit score system and all of these things. They're looking to see what's the probability of somebody becoming a criminal. They also have that kind of like a data. So maybe YouTube got like some kind of interesting data there too. What's the probability this guy is about to do something interesting? Managed to catch the sell continuation. Let's see. This was... You waited for a support. Okay, support, then break. 14 pip SL. Tap SMA before breaking the 5-minute wick low to fill the range. 20 pip TP. Oh, nice. Let me see. Let me see what happened here on the 1 minute. You caught the sell continuation here, right? That break by 51.69. Yeah, perfect. Very good. We have here that fake out situation. Awesome. And how much was that? This was a push of about 40 pips. Yeah, very well done. I think that was definitely a good play. Like, this is definitely one of those variations. Correct? The one that came above here, this is so much cleaner. So much cleaner. That's why I was thinking, like, this whole thing right here was distribution. And it was just, like, about to melt. Super clean. You see, like, there was no glitches. There was nothing. There was no missing wicks. There was nothing of the sort. Because everything is in order here, correct? So it's much better. Otherwise, yesterday's trade would have been most likely a W as well. Because the trade that came after that was, in essence, a W. So even this one was clean. And in any case, also, this one was clean. This one is clean. It's just like you got into the rip a bit early, but sometimes, you know, when there's momentum in the market, I also do this. But ideally, I would like to see at least this candle here close bearish and then get on the break. But in any case, you know, it's still good because when we broke here, it's still also confirmed like as soon as we broke there. Yeah, I missed your entry because I came on a bit late, but luckily managed to catch the next one. Very well done. That's the thing. It's if I'm not on the chart, you know, normally I should be on the chart by 1 a.m. Eastern. If I'm not on the chart by 1 a.m. Eastern, I assume that I've already missed a move. I just accept that I've already missed a move. That's why it's super important to always be on time. If you're not on time, you're late in the market. Actually, if you're really not on time, if you're not a few minutes earlier, you're pretty much late. I got that too. Nice one, AD. Yeah, we're not holding back. Shots. Shots. We gotta get attention. We gotta get the ICT community attention. Trading is one of the best jobs in the world. Yes, it is. It's one of the best jobs because, I mean, you burn out for sure. You can have a burnout when doing it on social media, even off social media. But I think, like, for me, the burnout comes from social media because you can see the trading system, the way we trade is quite stress-free. Like, literally just been on the chart, maybe a maximum of 30 minutes for both my trades today. But then that's it. But you know, I don't know, like, we're gonna be in a very privileged position because a lot of people don't have that same experience. I very well know, like, in the beginning of my journey as well, trading was very stressful. Super stressful. Trading like every session, not exactly knowing what I'm doing, like still trying to find my footing and all of those things. Yeah, in the beginning it was like hella stressful, a lot of anxiety. So I think, yeah, over time it gets better. Once you finally go through your first market cycle, and you provided that you've been actually working hard during that market cycle, because I just did trade. Everything I did for that whole year was just trading base, and you know, thanks to COVID, like we were indoors anyway. So basically, my work didn't even require that much effort from my part. So I just did enough not to get fired, and focused on trading 100% of the time. There you're gonna burn out. Like, I remember, like, daily burning out, daily crashing out on the couch after a full day of studying and charts and listening to videos and getting inspiration on Instagram. Like, it was just fully packed with just trading. looking at all these educators from Singapore, from the UK, doing my due diligence on them. Who are these guys? Learning their techniques, watching their videos, just trying to download their courses. Like some of the courses in the beginning I downloaded, but those were much older courses. So, but still like learning from them as well. And just, you know, well, one thing I never got into though was that whole liquidity part of trading. Just because at that time it just felt a bit too overwhelming. It felt too complicated, so I didn't want to touch it. Because from the beginning, I've always wanted to read candles, right? Like we probably all watched that Japanese candlestick video. Man, I've watched that Japanese candlestick video so many times. So many times, you know, because the whole idea was like to learn how to read candles. It wasn't to have indicators, right? But back in that time, there were a lot of people who were teaching trading quite different, a lot more zoomed out. Like they were a lot more zoomed out like this, and they kind of like explain to you certain things like this. You got Asia highs, London lows, you know, like kind of Q Bank style. But it's hard to replicate that type of trading. I feel like that's just like a breakdown. It's more of like a breakdown of markets. By each condition, each market condition, like today we can break it down like this, but tomorrow it's gonna look differently. And you don't know like exactly which of these zones to pick out. So that used to be this type of like education with like Fibonacci's as well. During that time, Fibonacci's were a big thing. But yeah, I think as the years progressed, what basically happened was from taking it from here, I started slowly but surely like zooming into the smaller bits of PA, like chunk size bits that I can understand. So my first strategy when I started doing that was basically buying at support. So when a candlestick, like let's say the 5 minute would come down towards the support, I would buy it when the next candle broke the previous candlestick highs, like this, and try to see if there was some kind of a clean range to correct. And that worked out pretty good. And also that was my first taste of how it felt to have zero drawdown trades in my direction, like following wick breaks like this. But the difference is like the work was put in, and results are inevitable when you put in the work. You just gotta fully commit yourself, you know, give yourself a commitment of 100%. See, gold slips on profit taking, firmer dollar. Gold prices ease in early trading as investors take profit after a rally fueled by uncertainty over US tariffs and tensions in the Middle East. Bullion climbed above 5,200 in the previous session, supported by renewed demand for safe haven assets as confusion surrounding President Trump's import levies added a fresh layer of uncertainty to global markets. Still, gold remains above $5,000 troy ounce, with further upside likely as geopolitical risk persists. Questions about Fed independence intensify as investors continue relocating away from sovereign bonds. I tell you, like Goldie's setting up. Like what's happening right now is just a small bit of anticipation. A small bit of anticipation, but it's slowly but surely moving up. Even this could just be the daily bottom wick. They will reflip and then continue filling that range to the upside. By the end of this quarter here should be ending in about a month's time. I anticipate that we should be up by this resistance, even potentially by the end of this week. We should be up here by 5,400. Should be heading towards like 5,450 by the end of the week. We're accumulating right now. Price is getting ready to break out as well. You can see this is the whole idea. Okay, so you know we took a sell here, but I think the overall idea of this structure is to accumulate, and then start breaking and having a much bigger push with clean traffic. That's from that Asia session sell-off that we're potentially going to be looking to correct today. It's like 387 pips, and that's what the market has been doing here. It's just been accumulating. It's just getting ready to break that high. Like my father always taught me, early on time, late. Being late is unacceptable. Yeah. Trader I look up to is Christian Quagmire. Qualmagi. Stock trader. Oh, stock trader. It took 5,000 to 350 million. And he started 2011. Never sells anything. Verified in list of Sweden highest taxpayers. Wow. That's amazing. You know, selling something is not a bad thing, guys. Like, I don't know where people get the idea that selling something is bad. Yeah, it's like the same thing. Like, if you're gonna ask Elon Musk, oh, you made so much money from PayPal, why are you doing SpaceX? You know, oh, you're so successful in SpaceX, and why are you doing Boring Company? It's like that. That's simply what they say for traders. Oh, if you make money trading, why do you sell signals? Or if you make money trading, why do you sell courses? It's like, what's wrong with making money? When has it become a problem to make money? Oh, if you're such a good musician, why do you have merchandise? Why are you selling clothes? Like, dude, business is business. If you have a value to provide, you're gonna provide your value. You know, that's the whole idea behind capitalism. If you have something to provide of value, then provide it. Set up a cloud AI agent to trade your system and you'll avoid burnout. AI, a robot, can never gonna replace a human being. I didn't mean selling is bad. Yeah, but that's what people think though. But nice. This guy seems legit. Guy seems very legit. Are you from India? Yes, I'm from India. I live close to Bangladesh. I'm from India, my friend. Can you not see my tan? Very tan away, you know, like an Indian. RH. So we got, this is the range high, and then this is the range low. Range low. Just getting ready for the breakout, chat. Did you guys catch the one that we called out yesterday? Man, unfortunately, I wish I took that one, but I wanted to come on the chart later. But this was the one we were speaking about. Bro. Like, we got the 5-minute range, which was right here. That was getting filled up. So just as we're leaving stream, we called out the buy over here. That's gonna fill the 5-minute range because, you know, price was breaking above resistance. You had a resistance over here. So this resistance was 31 pips, right? And then the entry, it came in right over here. Nice little liquidity grab, confluence as well, break of the highs to continue to move up bullish. I saw it play out. I wish I caught it because that would have been my 3% trade. Because yesterday I was looking for a 3% trade. And this one would have been it. But instead, I waited, retracement. And then we got a move here. Now, when that started to break out, that's when I got stuck in here, expecting this range not to get filled. But then got stuck in accumulation and then got rinsed. But then eventually price did go up. It looked like it was just accumulating for longer. And let me see what time it actually broke. Maybe the New York Open. Okay, before NY Open. But yeah, eventually it did break that area. So this is what we're expecting of price to actually do right now. Right now, that's what it's actually setting up to do. That same thing right over here. It's a much larger one, and it looks a bit clean on maybe like a 5-minute time frame, and that's what's getting ready to keep moving up bullish. Indian like Kutropoli from what is that show called? Kutropoli. Big Bang Theory. Yeah, Big Bang Theory. Yeah, exactly, Big Bang. Oh, you got it? Nice one, AD. That was a clean one. That was a very clean one. Oh, yeah. By the way, y'all know that it's boring in sense of tunnels and not boredom. I never thought about it that way. Yeah, I guess makes sense. Boring. You got screwed out on your SLs way too often, so it seems you have a better broker. I'm too clumsy. Maybe it's clumsiness, because if your broker is giving you one pip, the industry standard should be like 1.5 pips. 1.5 pips. That's how much your spread should be. Or yeah, sometimes you gotta be careful, like with a also closing just because you feel that it's gonna hit and then maybe it doesn't hit, or but I don't know, like what do you mean? Like most of the time, like even trade like this just go straight down. You have plenty of room. I guess just gotta see like what's going on there. You just have to investigate for yourself what's going on there. I got so many yesterday, but was like using 0.04 lot size, like paper trades. Didn't journal the trades, so I only have pictures. See what's going on here. Did give X entry, but Bryce gave a small console. Oh yeah, that was a nice clean one. Break of the low, continue to push. Kevja with a nice one. Break of the lows to push down. Let's go, let's go. This morning, what is this? A buy. Oh, look for a buy. I've been skeptical about the buys. Skeptical about the buys because, like, even since yesterday, for some reason, even the buys weren't playing out. Like, if I honestly just took the sells tomorrow, I think I would have at least had a few more winning trades. But even today, when showing up to the charts, I was remembering this, and then also noticing that price is down so heavy, and Trump is speaking today. So yeah, that's not an accident, you know. If like price is down negative 0.90% and Trump is speaking, then there's definitely something going on. But it should clean up. The muddy waters should clean up by the end of today. PA should be relatively straightforward throughout Wednesday onwards. And I don't think we have anything else. Let's see. We have tomorrow nothing, no news. On Thursday we got unemployment claims and then core PPI on Friday. Those are the things. But after today's speech that Trump's gonna give, we should be good. That's gonna be the what? The State of Union address. Can you imagine? I can't charge $1. I can set a country destroying embargo. I can do all these things. I can destroy the country. But I can't charge them $1. These laws here, looks like these laws were not meant to protect the United States. Meant to protect other countries. $1. Can't even charge them $1. He looked like so disappointed. He was like, man, even $1 I can't. Not even $1. Decided to drop a localized nuke on the administration strategy.
Even $1, I can't charge $1. Can't charge $1.
On Friday, they ruled 6 out of 3 was a giraffe on rollerblades.
We have alternatives. Great alternatives. Could be more money. We'll take in more money, and we'll be a lot stronger for it. We're taking in hundreds of billions of dollars. We'll continue to do so.
But if you think yeah, Mr. Trump, man, this guy. Payment problems.
They had us.
Essentially hitting. You think they had us? No, they didn't. Supreme Court's ruling.
Today I will sign an order to impose a 10% global tariff under Section 1.
Yeah, that's the one that he increased over the weekend. So, yeah, we're going to see. We're going to see. You know, Trump's feelings are a bit hurt right now. So, we're going to, like, hopefully get some volume in the market here. Hopefully, he can charge more than $1. Vic, so is the buys break and play so well? So you ain't entering? What do you mean? We already entered. Bro, I want to say something about your strategy. Can I say? Yeah, sure. Go ahead. Never ask as a man, you should never ask these two things. Never send me an inbox saying hi, and never ask me to ask a question. Those two things men should not do. Men should not do those two things. Really pisses me off. See, head and shoulders pattern forming. Yeah, it's just stuck here. It's, you know, the thing is, like, you got to look at it from the perspective of what the market is doing, because since it's in a range, you might end up seeing a lot of moves which are not actually there. Correct? So just look at it as a consolidation. And if it does actually end up selling off, then we can confirm that to be a potential head and shoulders. But right now, just look at it for what it's doing, which is it's just moving sideways. So even in a sideways, eventually it will create some kind of a pattern because it's just moving sideways, right? But yeah, I mean, it could cook it up if it drops. If it drops, that's what it's going to look like for sure. The PA is not too bad. Like, this whole range here is around... There's about 295 pips. The 30-minute tells a story? Yes. Yeah, on the higher time frames, you can see it a lot cleaner. That once we start getting through that resistance point, we should be able to keep moving up. See, the thing with Trump speaking today, that's going to be at a 9 p.m. So, ooh, that's much later. That's much later towards the end of the day. So I don't think we're going to hold this till the end of the day. I believe, like, this is a section where we're going to start distributing from. So you're going to have a candle do this. Boom. And then correct this area over here. It's gearing up. Maybe that's going to be the break that happens during pre-New York, maybe New York session time. But that's going to be the major break for price to keep moving up bullish. Bro, ask your question. I'm waiting for you to ask your question. Ask the question about the strategy. If the buys break and plays so well, oh, if the buys break over here, I don't know. If the buys break above here, then that's probably, you know, gonna be interesting. Trump speaks tomorrow. No, he speaks today. It's on the Forex Factory here at 9 p.m. 9 p.m. Eastern. It's also on his roll call. Can I please ask a question? Like, remember when you're in school and you're gonna ask the teacher, "Can I go to the bathroom?" And they're gonna tell you, I don't know, can you? Can you go to the bathroom? Looks like the daily from last week. This thing is cooking. Like, let's see what the fundamental work is for the day. Gold slips. Yeah, we saw profit taking. Gold is shining right now. How not to get blindsided. Yeah, this is the problem. Like, getting this blindsidedness, because price is moving up. You see, the thing is, price is moving up, but it's easy to get blindsided, right? It looks clean on the daily, like it just moved up, or it's probably gonna look like that. Like, maybe this daily candle is also gonna reflip, and it's just gonna look like it went up. But it's easy to get blindsided. Should I be investing gold? Wait, let's see. Gold price skyrocketed 65% in 2025. In 2026, it's already soared roughly 16%, a recent 50,000 per ounce. Let's see. Fund managers recently told Morningstar the continued rise is in part due to geopolitical uncertainty and concerns about the US political landscape. Shagawa explained that money the client planned to use within the 2 years should stay liquid. He also used the conversation to help her think, oh, what is this even about? Some personal... There's some kind of a personal article here. I ended up talking this client out of it because it doesn't align with the rest of the investment strategy. I pointed out that even if gold continues to rally for a bit longer, the S&P 500 still historically has been the place where you want to be to outpace inflation. Gold likely to consolidate above the $5,000 mark. I think, what did we hit, like 5,200, and then it started pulling back down a bit. Gold is likely to consolidate above 5K, says Philip Novas in a note. The underlying geopolitical escalation in the Middle East is likely to keep prices above this pivotal level. Ongoing negotiations in the region could quickly sway price movement for the yellow metal. A genuine de-escalation could taper off-haven demand, while renewed friction would likely fuel further defensive positions in gold. Other key macro drivers such as real yields, US dollar trends, and Federal Reserve rate expectations could also affect the precious metal. All eyes on gold right now. We're all looking to see how gold is about to perform. Let's see what NQ is doing. NQ today is on the way doji. The daily candle is like a bit of a doji, but it looks like it's on the way down. NQ, so daily time frame is bearish. 4 hours and a big accumulation right over here. You got resistance, you got support. Hourly is coming down to fill this range right over here. So we should be coming down towards support by 24,637. We're just breaking below 30-minute support right over there. Again, clean range from this area. If any candles are closing, got some candles closed, no bottom wick on that closure, meaning no range. When there's no bottom wick, then there's just no range for this candle here to continue to move down. So on the 1 minute. 1 minute, nice little accumulation breakout. Knowing NQ, this is probably like 10 pips. And then that reversal, how many is this? Like 16 pips, on 14 pips. And it's like a 14 pip, small little breakout over here. That's why I don't like NQ, because whenever it breaks, I've seen it do. Even German 40 is a bit cleaner than NQ, in my opinion, when you're trading price action, because with NQ you kind of always gotta do the opposite. I think this is why people who trade fair value gaps kind of like to look at NQ, because it's kind of like a Judas. It's kind of like a Judas kind of price action, but you know, even this would be kind of the idea for fair value gap, right? To come down into like a zone to keep moving up from. So that's kind of the nature of NQ. It does like to fake out price action a lot. So when price comes down and breaks wicks and closes below areas, it should still move in that direction, and it can still move in that direction, but it likes to fake out a lot more like this. Whereas I think like German 40 is a little bit more respective of PA. So each instrument definitely will have, like, all markets move relatively the same, but they definitely have their characteristics. So I guess that's why people like FEGs on here, but the market should always find a way to balance that out as well. Like it won't always look for like some kind of rejections. It should actually respect PA more often, like such as this right here. Boom, break below support. If it notices like a lot of struggle as well, clean range. You see it comes down, corrects that area like this, then comes up. So you see it still also respects like in TFX way, but I think you're gonna have like a higher hit rate if you're more selective on your trades here. Whereas on something like gold, if you just follow PA, then it's like much more forgiving because it respects price action a lot more. Whereas this is trying to do a lot. It respects, but at the same time it's doing other things. Do you trade Asia and New York too? Pre-London? Pre-London and pre-NY. If this 4-hour can flip, I'm gonna scream of excitement and contain. Yeah, I mean, if the 4-hour flips, then it's still in the range. But if it starts to break above the previous 4-hour highs, then we should go up. It's like trying to flip right here. It's like a doji. Because that now the LTF, as it's being a doji, the LTF candles are just printing like that. Got about 2 hours here for the 4-hour break. Break above 51.91. It's gonna be a real bomber clot.
Bomber clot!
Hey, Kraken, good morning. Owanda? Yeah, Owanda's a bit different. Owanda actually closes in an hour, I'm pretty sure. Like, you got 1 more hour for this close. 59 minutes. Yeah, it looks different. Oh, but at least the distractions are over, right? No more Nicki Minaj and Trump and all these distraction stuff. Now we're going to business. Like this whole Epstein files thing and everything. It's not like moving markets. But now we have his tariffs. Now it's like he's going to war again. He's going back into the trenches now. You terrible reporter. CNN. Fake news. This is a correction. We're going back. Yes, we're going back up now. Because you see, if we're going to be at the bottom of the range, then the probability we go to the top, it makes sense, right? If you come down to retest the zone, just like what we call John Wick areas over here. People buy demand and sell supply. So yeah, as we're coming down over here, we got these touch points. Boom, boom. We got here as well. See prices relatively towards that bottom end of the bottom end of the range. Just about entry confirmations here to continue to move up. That's it. Trades are down for the day. Heading to the gym. Good luck on the charts, gents. Enjoy. Got gym today as well. Yeah, but we gotta watch price here start to move up. It's gonna move up. We got like a range to fill. $40 pips. $40 pip range. Really don't want to go to the gym. I'm definitely not a workout type of person. If I had it my way, I would definitely not. I would just not gym at all. But it's just about breaking barriers. You know, just doing the things that you know that you don't want to do, but you got to do them, because majority of what you got to do in life, it's just stuff that people don't want to do. You know, most of the time, all great things are put on the other side of what people don't want to do. So that's the way the universe has set things up. The easiest things to do in life are usually not the greatest for you, right? The most enjoyable and comfortable things, they're not the greatest for you. But everything that's good for you is always on the other side of being disciplined. That's the only reason that I would say, like, to have a routine like that, just to just keep trying to push your subconscious. Because every day I say, like, the human psychology is kind of going against you, because it wants these other things, right? Look at this. Now we're starting to break the highs. Should be like filling this range. Should be going towards the upside for it to respect the lows of the overall consolidation. Should be retesting that high. When you're a TetraFX trader, patience is one of the best friends, yes. And you know, that's why you have to, the easiest way to be patient is to look at the hourly time frame, and on the candles on the hourly, when you're free to trade, look at how those hourly candles move, like if they have pushes in them, because you're just trying to catch maybe 16-20 pips back to back. That's going to be your bread and butter, like 16-20 pips. And then every now and then you're gonna have your running opportunities, but that's kind of what you want to look for. So look and see how those hourly candles move during the time that you trade. Correct. So if there's volume, you just have to be on time when that hourly opens, because that hourly open is gonna give you like maybe a maximum of 3 setups on that hourly open. So you just have to be on time, and just know within the hour, the setup could come around like 1 to 3 trades potentially in the hourly candle. And you see, it's so much easier to be patient, because now it's like you're more efficient and you're not just wasting time sitting around through times maybe when there's less probability. You know, it doesn't make sense, for example, showing up an hour early to the chart if you know volume doesn't start to kick in until the next hourly open, for example, because then it's like harder to be patient. Well, that's kind of what we do, so we can kind of trick the system by being on time. You know, we kind of have to be on time, but we don't have to waste time just looking at chart work. So that's why we can come onto stream and take our trade in the first 4 minutes and be done for the day. It's the reason why stream doesn't start, like, let's say, for example, halfway throughout an hourly candlestick. Because now we're going to wait 30 minutes, most likely, for that next hourly candle to open. Because by the time we get like halfway to an hourly candle, there's a good chance there's already something at play. Or a few setups already played out. I'm still curious what the question was. Yeah, me too. I think I scared the fellow. I said, man, let me not ask this anymore. Gonna get roasted. Choppy, yeah, very choppy. It's trying to move up though to the top of the range. The question is, when is it breaking out of this range? You know, right now it's still early. We're in the London Open, about 1 hour 7 minutes into London Open. See, now it's moving up towards resistance over here, coming to retest resistance back to the top of the range. See, simple. Just look at what the market is telling you. It's moving sideways. Testing bottom of the range, wait for your entry confirmations. It's most likely going to go back to the top of the range, and then vice versa. As we come up to the top of that resistance here, you're seeing like a little bit of profit taking now on that candle. It may still try and make a run for 51.84, retest that supply area. What you said in the last 5 minutes deserves to be taught to anyone about the waiting for time when there is volume to be on the chart at the right time. Yes, that's true. But I think it depends on also the strategy, because some people, when they're looking for their gaps to fill, they don't know when the gap is going to get filled. So they can just draw it. They'll draw it, and then it's just going to be up to the market, like when it comes to that area. So it's also a bit different, I suppose. Also depending on, like, yeah, waiting for retracements, pullbacks. Whereas for us, we're waiting for structure to build, because eventually market has to build structure, right? It can't just move down, up in V-shaped formations all the time. So eventually and quite soon enough, it will build a structure. So we just gotta be like always on our toes. Yeah, whereas other systems, you gotta wait. You get even triggered like random times in the day that you saw a really nice setup on a higher time frame get triggered at a random time in the day. Or actually, I might be wrong in that, because I'm thinking what ICT people do. What ICT people do is they get on the lower time frame, like even as far as a seconds chart, and then wait. So they wait for the New York session. Yeah, that's what they do. They wait for the NY Open most of the time, and then they do it on the lower time frame so they don't have to wait as much, and they can get more structure built quickly. It's probably what they do. But yeah, I mean, You can trade TFX at any time of the day. You just gotta pick the right hourly candles that for you make the most sense that they're gonna move, you know, and then just stick with that consistently. So for us, we like the 1 a.m. Eastern and 3 a.m. and then 6 a.m. candles. Like, when did I start streaming? In 2023. I wish I could leave all my old videos on there, but yeah, I couldn't. I had some problems with YouTube. YouTube was changing rules like how funded program changes rules. Well, imagine that. Like, you should come from one day say, oh, now we need disclaimers on videos. And then they start targeting videos that you made years ago before the rule was even implemented. So that's pretty much what happened. It's changing rules off the fly like a funded program will. So imagine doing a funded program, getting close to a payout, and then there's a rule that changed, and they say, oh, you made all these trades on the seconds chart, so you're not allowed to trade seconds charts. But anyway, like, within time, people are gonna realize what's going on. Right now, there's still a lot of hype. There's still a lot of like people promoting them. Still a lot of these live streamers as well promoting them. All these things, you know. These guys just sellouts. That's what they are. Just sellouts. Man, every day I get like an email from some kind of an affiliation. I don't even respond to those emails. Say, oh, we're going to give you free accounts. You can trade these accounts, free live accounts. You know, you can trade free live accounts. We can give you live challenges. What's your salary? Like what do you want us to pay you a month? But it just doesn't work like that, you know? Like, if you're going to be profitable in trading, you're just going to have a skill. If you don't have a skill, you don't have the skill. You know, it has nothing to do with your account size. And actually giving someone a funded account is the same thing as Mr. Beast donating a Tesla to somebody who can't afford it, who can't afford to maintain the car. You know, like those giveaway challenges, they actually do harm and not necessarily good when they give away, like, you know, vehicles and all of these things, because they can't keep up with the payments. You know, like, if the person could not even have afforded the car in the first place, how are they going to keep up with all the maintenance costs and all of those other things, you know? So that's what a funded program kind of is like. It can do a lot more harm than you think that you're doing good. Because first of all, you're really stunting the guy's progress by putting him on a restricted trading platform where he has to follow even more additional rules on top of him or her not being profitable. So it causes a lot more stress, and you start to lose sight of what you should be doing, which is actually focusing on a skill, and you start focusing a little bit more on the money side of things, which you should never do in any endeavor, is to focus on the money side of things. And just let that be a byproduct. Tap the resistance here. See a little bit of profit taking. Got profit taking back down. Up, down, up, down. But the good thing is, like, there's definitely been volume today. You can see already down negative 1.05% on the daily time frame. So it's funny to see this down this much, but when you look at the PA, it's just ranging. But technically we are kind of like in an overall trending environment. This could also be a range to come down, but I don't see why it would come down, given that the macro fundamentals should be bullish. But you know, the thing is, like, there's a truth to tariffs increasing dollar strength. That's true. Like, with the tariffs that are going to be put onto the dollar, it should increase dollar strength. But you know, gold is in such an interesting situation now because you know, I feel like there's a lot more going against the dollar than there is going for it. Even Trump himself said he wanted to deliberately weaken the dollar like the yen. Right? So I guess right now what we're seeing is maybe a situational thing, like for today, since tariffs coming out should increase strength on the dollar, and that's why like price is moving down. But it's like more of a technical correction possibly for a continuation to the upside, because like after today we still have the Iran war to use as a catalyst for why gold should continue to move up. Plus there's just no trust in the dollar whatsoever, you know. There's no trust. I think this is probably just a technical correction. Wouldn't be surprised to even see us reflip back up on the daily. But as you look at the daily is still also moving up bullish. It's still on its way up, although today is quite heavily bearish. This correction, we're going back up. Choppy, but choppy, I think. Whatever direction we break, man, even if we break the lows, it can still be a very, very strong move down. Any idea about BTC long term? Yeah, it's probably coming down, BTC. Even the CEO of... What is this hedge fund called? Let me see. CEO of Morgan Stanley. No. Yeah, anyway, I can't remember his name, but is it Mike Blake? But they say, you know, things like cryptocurrency are just basically a scam. Like Bitcoin it only has value in maybe if it's used as a crypto is used as a utility of sorts, or for criminal activities. So in the long run, don't expect crypto to go like 1,000,000, for example, you know? Like most likely coming down. I wouldn't be surprised if crypto will come down. Right now it's at 60K. Even all the way back down to like the 20s. I wouldn't be surprised. We've been calling crypto shorts the whole time, by the way, on this channel. We've just been calling the shorts. And we're calling shorts again below 60. It just needs to get beyond that support. Yeah, it was the CEO of JP Morgan. Jamie Dimon. I'm trying to find... Look at this. Yeah, listen to what the CEO of a JP Morgan says about crypto.
Crypto.
If you mean crypto like Bitcoin, I've always said it's a fraud.
No hope for it.
Well, if they think they're a currency, there's no hope for it. It's a Ponzi scheme. It's a public, decentralized Ponzi. If it's a crypto coin that can do something, like a smart contract, that has value. There will be smart contracts, and blockchain works. So to the extent crypto is accessing certain blockchain things, yeah, that might have some value.
American leadership.
There you go. Diamond said he can move the whole market by himself with a single order. Yes, he could. He also protects the US economy as well. Whenever there's some kind of a bailout, because part of his strategy is to manage risk for the times when certain scenarios like companies might need bailouts or the US government might need bailouts. So it's part of like his strategy involves reducing risk, and he's also being people say that the fact that he does that, he leaves a lot of money on the table, right? But for him, it's not about leaving money on the table. It's about to prepare for those times when something like US government might need a bailout, for example. So JP Morgan has been holding the US through certain really key moments in financial history. So that guy is quite a bit of a legend. So when he says things like that, like cryptocurrency is a scam and you're going full port on cryptos, then you got to think about it again. Because it's not about getting lucky, like trading is not about getting lucky. Like even when you want to make investments, people are going to invest in things which have a little bit more surety, like gold, for example, most likely is going to go up, the S&P and those types of things, and that also trickles down into your day-to-day trading. Now, if you're a day trader and you have a strategy, you don't want to get lucky. You always want to follow your rules, correct? Because you just want the highest probability of anything. So you see, like all these trades, they all have the same thing in common. So if you click on these links, they're gonna take you to all my trades, or you can do your own due diligence, and you're gonna see like there's some kind of a consistency there. That luck does not exist. So I said here, after each trade, make sure you grade yourself, right? So grade yourself an A if you followed the plan perfectly, a B if you had a minor deviation, a C if you're emotional, F if it was a pure gamble. And you can still lose money and still get an A, for example, because you follow your rules, and you can still win money and still get an F if you're just gambling. But if you focus on only your profits, then you'll accidentally train your bad habits. And those are the bad habits which will catch up to you. So like for today so far, I think we got like an A. Followed plan perfectly. Followed plan perfectly. And every month you gotta maybe have your psychology here to be, let's say, 90% of the time that you want to kind of be following your plan, because you're only human. You will have minor deviations. So I would say I kind of get from A and B, from followed plan perfectly to minor deviation. But you definitely don't want to be emotional, and you don't want to gamble 90% of the time, because here's the thing: you can have a 100% hit rate even if you want following your rules, but you're never gonna have a 100% hit rate on the chart. But you can have a pretty close 90%, 100% hit rate following rules. So you see, it's always going to be going back to what you can control in the market, right? Not what you can't control. Coming back down to the support. B happens to me, but I recover, not by luck, but calculated risk. How do I fix my trading psychology? I overtrade and end up blowing accounts. Oh, you overtrade and end up blowing accounts. You see, a lot of you are already profitable because you know why it is that you're not profitable. Because a lot of the time people are going to say the same thing, man. Like, I'm not profitable because I keep doing this. So you know what you're doing is not what you should be doing. So you at least have a solution. You know your problem. So what does it mean that you're blowing accounts? You got to do that inner work. You know, maybe for you, you want to get rich quick. You know, start doing that inner work of why you actually want to be a trader in the first place. Is it just for money? Do you actually enjoy the process of trading? Do you take pride in your chart work? You know, these are all the questions you got to ask yourself and like really dig into the root causes of your overtrades and blown accounts. You got to be kind of like this guy. Right, wait, let me see if I got that reel. I got a reel on standby. Wait. Exclusive. An exclusive on stream. I was thinking about posting this reel over here. Let me see if I can bring this up. So you gotta be kind of like this guy, right? Like this is the stronger version of yourself. We all have this guy in us. You know, we all have this guy in us. You just have to activate him, because most of the time it's easy to be this guy. You know, like you kind of want to lie down. You kind of want to play the victim. You know, feel unmotivated to do certain things. It's all easy to be this guy. That's why you always gotta have those two versions of yourself, and they gotta work in hand together. You know, every day is exactly like this. Even disciplined people, we don't like to be disciplined. You know, being disciplined sucks. There's nothing that is fun about being disciplined. But, you know, to get results that you never had, you got to do things you never did, right? So most of the best results you're going to find in life are on the other side of discipline. It sucks being disciplined, but, you know, you just got to wake up. You got to say, okay, so buddy, what is wrong over here? Why are we blowing accounts? You know, we all have that version of ourselves. We just gotta listen to it a bit more. You know, you must let that version of yourself activate. The moment that you feel discouraged or tired or something, just try and activate that different version of yourself. Because no one's gonna save you, you know? No one's coming to save you. You're gonna save yourself. Technical analysis is easy. The hard work is us. Yeah, technicals are... trading is heavily on psychology. The technical work you can get down. The psychology part is the part where you want to get good. It's again reading the market context, right? That's psychology. You can kind of teach context, but it's up to the individual to take an actual interest in learning for them to get to that next level. Because you can teach someone, you can lead a horse to water, and he's gonna see the water, but you're not gonna force him to drink the water. Everything happens in God's timing, you know, that's just what it is. Like, as much as, you know, we kind of want something right now, something in us might just be holding us back for XY reasons. Maybe there's still some lessons that need to be learned before achieving what we want to achieve first. Maybe, you know, like God is saying, hey, listen, you might just need to learn a few of these L's here first, because I'm protecting you from taking those L's that are going to destroy you later. So let me just give them to you now. You know, and then you can just kind of like change your perspective towards it. But as long as you're heading in the right direction and you're moving correctly, you have nothing to worry about. right? So, take a look at yourself in the mirror and say, am I moving in the right direction? Do I have my priorities straight? Am I rushing the process? Or am I enjoying the process? Am I controlling what I can control? Or am I playing the victim? Am I blaming somebody else? Or am I taking accountability? These are the things you gotta look at the mirror and like get truthful about, Because the proof, as I say, is in the pudding. And you already know it subconsciously, what's going on. You just don't want to accept it. The problem is like with the human psychology is when you dig yourself into a lie, you almost start to believe it. But deep down inside, you know it's a lie. But you got to start to believe that I'm not profitable because my account size is not big enough. And I've been there myself. Honestly, I've been there. And once I got my account to a level I thought which was a good level, I still had the same problem because that was a psychological thing that I had. Right? So even when I got to my account size a little bit bigger, before being profitable, I had more money, but I was just going to lose that money in any case. So at the time, like, I was not making too much money. I was quite young. So for me, $1,000 was a target, right? So my whole thinking was that, man, if I can get $1,000, start risking like 1.5% per trade, I can start making some pretty good money here as a student. You know what I mean? But then even when I reached $1,000, man, I got imposter syndrome. I was looking at $1,000 in my account and I actually got scared. I got scared because I'm like, man, I got $1,000 over here. It's amazing that I saved this. I still saved this when all my friends and buddies were wasting money on alcohol and partying and all of these things. Man, I saved $1,000. Working part-time, really not doing any work at all. Correct? Because at the same time I was learning, so I was not like a full-time worker. And that scared me because now I knew I was an imposter. It's like putting me as a professional in a professional tournament that I'm not ready for. I got imposter syndrome. Then I traded it for a bit. I started losing money like I naturally would. And then I just kind of withdrew most of the money again back into my account. But the whole time I thought it was not profitable because I didn't have a big account. And it's a thing that people struggle with today. But they take a different form nowadays with funded programs. So for them, it's like now you don't even want to trade. Some of y'all don't even want to trade if it's not a funded program. You're like, why should I even trade a live account? It's just not as exciting, correct? So you'd rather be on a funded. So you see, these are the things. You have to look at yourself in the mirror and then see like, what are we doing here, right? What makes sense? What doesn't make sense? Because it's like, if you look at someone like Casey Neistat, for example, he's one of the biggest YouTubers in terms of vlog content. Casey Neistat genuinely has an interest for making videos, movies, production, etc. So he started all that videography using the shittiest cameras, and he would make the most amazing footage using the poorest of quality camera equipment. Right? Whereas somebody else would say and blame that the fact that they don't have Casey Neistat's newer cameras today, that they don't want to start a vlog channel, for example. So it's like, where are your priorities? It's like you want the best equipment. So that means you don't really truly care or give shit about the passion and learning of that skill. Correct? Whereas you would have just started it already. That's what trading is. It's not going to pay you. Let me tell you one thing about the market. It's super intelligent. It will not pay you if your intentions are wrong. It's almost like a rite of passage. If you have poor intentions and you're just doing this for the money, you're not going to make the money. Because now the market is going to have you in a position where it can manipulate you. Your bad days can get a lot worse and your good days are never going to satisfy you. So you're never going to be fulfilled. So what you should actually find more fulfilling is not how much money that you found on this trade. It's about how you manage your emotions on this trade, how you took the trade, how it was part of your plan, how you consistent it was, and how stress-free it was. Those are the things that you should focus on. If you don't start focusing on that now, then man, let me tell you, you're going to be here the next 5-10 years doing the same thing all these other 90% of people are doing who are still trading even plus 10 years. Still break even, still, struggling. Because sometimes you have to kind of like unlearn. If it's not working, don't waste time. Just unlearn slowly and always be willing to learn new things and new perspectives. And then slowly actively make a 1% increase in performance like every day. Like try and just build on your best habits as much as you possibly can. And man, if you're doing that, and if you've been doing that for the past 10 years, then you tried your best, man. You tried your best, and you can still keep going, and it can still happen for you. It still happens for a lot of people even past like 10 years. But at least you know you gave it like an honest shot. But if you just spent the last 2 years chasing lifestyle and chasing funded programs, or you just wasted the whole of 2025 doing that, don't be surprised that you haven't seen the progress you want to see now. If you haven't been locking in the whole past of 2025, you know, if you haven't been sending in chart work here in the Discord, if you haven't been asking for feedback from profitable traders and using what you have at your disposal to get better, don't be surprised when you're still in the same spot a year from now. Because the universe is fair. You will get results eventually. If you go to the gym every day, your results are going to be guaranteed in a sense. There's no guarantees on this channel, just before the AI on YouTube gets excited. We're not giving any financial advice over here, but results like that are going to be guaranteed, provided that you're consistent with a good habit, for example, correct? I always like to think about it this way. Like if you keep putting yourself in a position to get splashed, you're going to eventually get splashed. And when it rains, it pours. Do I always use USDX? Oh no. I'm planning on doing 2 trades max a day for a month. Let's see how it goes. It will be much better results than if you were doing a lot more than that. That's for sure. I overtraded for years. I rate traded a lot. Mentor helped me. Big thing for me is that I quit after 2 losses, no exemptions. Good, good. And the thing is, you know, like nowadays there's so much information. Like you only have yourself to blame if you're gonna make some really dumb mistakes, you know. Because I get it, maybe like, you know, 10 years before there was not as much information as it is nowadays. I think the information boom started in during that COVID period. Wait, sorry, the curve probably looked like in 2023, 2024, 2025, boom. I think that's the time we also got like GME, GameStop, and all of those things were happening. So many people were making money at home, trading from home. So it really exponentially increased during COVID. It was really good for the market as well. So if you think about it, the conspiracy is going on there, but there's a lot of liquidity that was been provided into the market also during that time. So yeah, like there's no excuse nowadays. Nowadays, you're gonna end the day, and you either followed your rules or you didn't. That's on you. All right, let's see what's going on here. 5 minute, we created a resistance. We got another resistance up over here. This is around 34, 35 pips. We got support right down over here. We might start accumulating. We might start seeing a break back above. Right now, we're also at the bottom of the range right here by support. You see, this is a whole demand zone. Whole demand zone that we just keep tapping into. So we'll see if the John Wicks can come back into the market now. They should be getting in here at the bottom. See if the candlestick starts to break above this is 51.72 over here, and then keep going up bullish. 33 pips. Mexican army kills El Mencho, leader of Jalisco cartel. The U.S. provide intelligence support for operations as confirmed by Mexico's defense ministry. Man, right now, you know, I'm watching Snowfall. Best series ever. I don't know why I never watched it. I'm on like season 5 right now. I can't stop watching Snowfall. That Franklin guy he's the one, man. Franklin's the one. Franklin is the one. Such a nice series. That's season 5 right now. I think we got just one more season left of Snowfall. Season 6. I love that contrast between the devil and the saint that the producers, you know, when they're making that movie, that contrast between Franklin as a saint and a devil. It's pretty cool, man. Especially like the way like season 4 ended and how he went back to Mel with his walking stick, and then kind of got his, what do you call it, like I can't find the word, but like when you put that walking stick down and then start walking normally, sheesh, such a goated scene. He got his closure. Yeah, that's the word, closure. He got his closure from Mel, and in the church as well, with the cross right behind him like that. Damn. Man, like, you know, when you want to watch a movie, you always got to appreciate the directors. You know, I always watch, like, man, Franklin, an amazing actor, bro. But the directors, those guys are real geniuses. Yeah, so, yeah, let's go Mexican army over here. Hill El Mencho. Following violent protests with roadblocks and burning vehicles occurred in Jalisco and other states. Yeah, this has nothing to do with markets, so I think it's where to move the market. But I think, yeah, still pretty good. Thanks for sharing. There's a channel over here where you're going to share like some news. If you got any news that we can read on the Discord. But yeah, Goldie's setting up right now. It's getting ready for, it's probably getting ready for a breakout above resistance. But you will love the arc. Yeah, and you know the thing with Franklin, like he even just loves, it's not even about the money with Franklin, right? Like he just does it because now this is what he does. Like he's good at what he does. You can see he doesn't even care about the money that much. That's what I always say, like focus on the skill, and then you even forget about the money. And then you start to realize the money is nothing but just a material thing. Right? It's good to have money. It makes life a lot more easier. Of course, if you don't have to worry about health bills, like money is not happiness. It wouldn't make you happy, but it can buy happiness in the form of maybe you never have to worry about like certain things like health bills or anything of the sort. But then you start to realize that the true joy comes from actually the value that you provided, that the money is being attracted to. Because money is not attracted to just random random events unless you just win a lottery, correct? But even lottery tickets, lottery winners, I always love the saying, if you want to win a lottery, you have to make the money to buy the ticket. You know, so even with lottery winners, it's also, you know, they kind of put themselves in a position to get splashed. If you want to win a lottery, you gotta put in the work to buy the ticket. I finished Snowfall last week. I've added it to my external hard drive. Yeah, from season 5, it was quite difficult to find like 1080p. I was not gonna watch that thing in 720. But I found 1080p versions. I wish you could find shows in 4K. Why can you not find shows in 4K? Chat, like, don't they shoot these shows on 4K cameras? Like, why is it like Showtime or series you can never find in 4K, but movies you can find in 4K every now and then? Aren't they not shot on 4K cameras? It's always 1080p at best. Gold could be setting up for a breakdown soon. Yeah, it's looking to... Oh, since the bottom of the range, we would have wanted to see it come up. But it's still a... You gotta get through a support over here. You got like a key support area. If you want to win a lottery, you gotta make the money to buy a ticket.
If you want to win the lottery, you have to make the money to buy a ticket. You have to make the money to buy a ticket. You have to make the money to buy a ticket.
I think that movie's called Nightcrawler. Pretty nice movie. Getting a few rejection wicks here by the lows. Got like 3 rejection wicks. Still gearing up. I believe this thing should move up. It's at bottom of the range, but eventually it has to move somewhere. Correct? It has to move somewhere. It's gotta have to distribute. That's the only clean range on the 5-minute right here by 51.73. It's gonna be about like 35 pips. There's streaming services that deliver true 4K. I can't get into my provider. Movies are usually shot on red cameras. Brother-in-law is a grip for movies. The cameras are crazy good. Yeah, red cameras, I think. How much is a red camera? Like $300,000? I would guess. Let me see. Red camera price for the movies. $500,000. Oh, damn. It can go cinema cameras. This. Oh, red. Oh, red is not that. You can get a red camera price for movies. The movies range. Oh, what? Really? I thought cameras like cost a lot more than this. 25K for a high-end flagship system. Compact cameras. I guess the costs add up because during movie sets anyway, they end up breaking cameras and they need like a lot of them. All right, this thing is gearing up, getting ready. Just need to create a little bit more structure, or even the 5-minute might need to even just break above 51.73. to start to break and then continue to move up within the small range right over here. Well, on the 1 minute, it's still definitely like cooking up. Still no entry confirmations there yet. Franklin Saint. Yeah, that guy's my daily motivation. It's gonna be so sad when I finish watching it. Yeah, Kevja's been killing it. Kevja's been killing it. Best month of all time. Let's go. 23 trades so far. Very nice. Look at this. Look at this. Let's get it.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Something close to genius.
Well, when he's around, you've always got a chance. Muchas gracias, afición. Este para vosotros.
Muchas gracias, afición. Xprime.com, check that site out. It's like a pirate Netflix. You don't need to download the episodes. Oh, let me see this. Let's head over to the pirate seas. Oh, they got a Discord in there too. Going to the pirate seas. What can we see? These are old movies though. I'm showing old movies on the homepage. Alright, homepage gets a 5 out of 10. 5 out of 10 because there's no... Oh, this is Greenland 2. This is a recent movie over here. Oh, this is in cinemas. Okay. In cinemas. Right over here. Housemaid. That was a pretty good movie over here. Jeff Bezos invested in a lingerie company. Of course, billionaire investing in a young girl's lingerie company. Very interesting. But let's see. All right, homepage gets a... Say homepage gets like an 8. Give it like an 8. All right, nice. I like the player. The player's pretty good. I gotta... See, quality gets up to 4K. Can you? No, but you can't do 4K. Look at this. You're gonna have to pay for 4K. What kind of a pirate sea is this? Can't get the loot. Why are they hiding the loot from me? How do I get the loot? I can't even get beyond 720. What's going on here, architect? No, you don't pay. You have to choose a different server. Oh, it's complicated. It's complicated here. Because I didn't see an option for a server. It just took me straight in. It's pirate shit, not high expectations. But come on, man. Like, even 1080p, can't even get 1080p on this movie. This movie is already out in 4K. If you go on to, let's say, YTS, for example, which it's not loading for some reason. Yeah, I love movies. Man, I'm kind of like a movie buff. Right now, I am watching a... Damn, I didn't bookmark it here. But I'm watching one of Leonardo DiCaprio's hidden movies, chat. So if you're a Leonardo DiCaprio fan, there's this movie I found of his. That it's a hidden Leonardo DiCaprio movie when he was young with his friends. And it's a very good reason why it's in it. Tobey Maguire is in it as well, Spider-Man. the best Spider-Man. The guy from Entourage is in it as well. I forgot his name. And David Blaine. So these three were like really good friends when they were kids. So this is a movie I'm watching from the 2001. It's from 2001. And the reason why Leonardo DiCaprio hid this movie as much as he possibly could is because, man, if you watch this movie, you're actually going to start hating Leonardo DiCaprio. Because he was such an asshole in this movie. And the way he like treated and was talking about women, that's Tobey Maguire right over here. There's that guy from Entourage, the series. Right? This thing is called Don's Plum. Right? And man, this guy has such a foul mouth in this movie, bro. Like the way he talks to people and about people is a crazy. It's a bit of a hard watch, but hey, it's Leonardo DiCaprio, man. It's like a good movie. And the thing is, it's like a short film, but it's 1 hour, 30 minutes long. Like there was not even that much thought, I think, that went into producing this because it was just him and his buddies, but it still came out so good. Right? And so he kind of like hid this because during that time he was still quite young and he was, you know, doing things like Titanic and whatnot, and he was getting really famous. So they try to like hide this as much as possible. So you've probably never heard of Don's Plum before. But they gotta kind of like sit around this table and talk shit about people. Yeah, so that's what I'm currently watching, or trying to at least watch right now. All right, so price time breakout. We got some kind of accumulation over here. Yeah, it should be closing in about 2 minutes 30 seconds above resistance. It will be trying to break out because, you know, it's gonna have a hard time for price to move down here. Look at all that support that price needs to get through to move down. You know, so you're gonna like move up instead. It's gonna want to move up instead. What's the name? Don's Plum. It's kind of a hard watch. I can see why he didn't want people to watch that. So it's kind of a hard watch. But it's really good. Like, I don't know, like actors, if you got talent, you got talent. It doesn't matter even what skits you're doing, like people just see it. See the talent, you know. They see the talent. Sorry, some movies just don't, some movies are not blockbusters, but they're fan favorites because of how good they acted in. Like if you watch Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas with Johnny Depp and Tobey Maguire, like that was Tobey Maguire's like one of his key moments for when, you know, people really looked up to him as an actor before he became the Spider-Man that we all know and love. So it wasn't a blockbuster, but it was a really good movie. I got like 1 minute for candlestick here to close. See, where is it breaking below? Carry like a resistance. Nothing like too clean that we like, such as what we got like all the way up over here. This definitely could still shape up to be a bit better, especially if a candlestick was to come down like this and pull down a bit more, and then eventually get the break back above that resistance point. Boom, fill up that range. Alright, looks like it rejected it. It did come down nicely heavy. Nicely heavy down. But remember, it's still a counter trend move. It's still going against the daily bias. It's just the current market structure right now is a moving sideways. So if you're at the bottom of the range, then it makes sense that then price is gonna go and try and retest back up to the top of the range and then come back down. such as that. So that's currently what's going on. So it just needs to try and attempt to break above resistance over here. And then I think this would be like a pretty good little accumulation over here. Do you have an explanation for what happened at 3 a.m.? This big push down when it closed the daily? Yes, it's going to break the highs here. It's about to break an accumulation. Let's see, candlestick close, no top wick. This next candle's got to make that break. If it doesn't, then that's a low volume break. At that point, it's just better like if the 5 minute, I guess, closes above, where it comes back down to create structure to move up again. But the reason why it dumped so heavy was because of Trump speaking later today. That's why it dumped so heavy. So we're gonna get 15% tariffs today. So you see, if the algorithm fed you my video here, then you would have known exactly what was happening today. But you see, the problem with when the algorithm doesn't show it to us, then we're not gonna watch it. We're not gonna watch it. But I'm trying to post, at least try to be consistent with the macro fundamentals now on my channel. So yeah, that's why price moved down here today, because of this, because of that event, but price should still move up later. It should still continue to move up later, because in the overall context, beyond the tariffs, there's so much uncertainty with the US dollar that a price on gold is just bound to move up. We're gonna see resistance get hit, chat. We're going to see this resistance get hit by 54.20 daily resistance. It will get tapped into. Don't you worry about that. Now price is breaking. Let's see how it ended up breaking. Created a resistance. Then break. Not really a nice break in my opinion, because it kind of like trickled up there. It would have been a lot nicer if this candle here had opened and then continued to push above like that to fill that range. Could have been a much cleaner break, you know, like Trump would say. It would have been like a very amazing break with the small dinosaur arms. It would have been an amazing break. But the break, you know, it's still broke. It's still looking to fill the range, but the break was just not clean. It kind of trickled into the break instead of just doing it either here or at least on that next candlestick. So it created like a resistance and then a quick break, which is sometimes I will take that variation of that happening, you see, because it still created that resistance by that area. I would sometimes still take that trade, but it's not my most comfortable trade. I would say that would definitely be like a minor, let's say like a minor deviation, kind of like a minor deviation from the plan, especially since it's a counter trend as well, so it wouldn't be like a very good thing to do, but it still played out. It's kind of like yesterday I was looking for buys, but the sells just kept playing out. But today I was looking for sells, and that's what I executed on, and it was quite happy that the market lined up for the sells as well today, making it a lot easier to catch. But you see, if we didn't catch these sells, then the next sell that we'd have to catch is this one right over here with a fake out. That would be the second entry. If we didn't catch the first one, that would be the second entry. And if we didn't catch the second entry, this would be the third. Wait, no, that's not the third. Yeah, from that point, it seems like I only had a buy right here, but that's not really a fully formed setup. Nothing here. We had like another buy here, broke, retested, the accumulation shot up again, and then we have this area cooking up over here. So it's a good thing we show up on time, because we had clean setup here, clean setup here, and for the rest of it now, since the London Open is kind of just chopping around a little bit more. But yeah, now we're like kind of correcting some of this minor range that we have on the left hand side by like 34 pips. I want to take that one, but the wick to the left, I was like, it will take next one if it comes. Closing trading soon, already 2 trades and 2 W's. Yeah, nice. See, sometimes we gotta wait for a candle to close. It kind of like mops up the whole area before it closes. That's why you have to do like an impulse, you know, like an impulse entry. You're gonna have to find like an impulse entry. Very hard to trade this though. Yeah, it's kind of difficult to trade it. I do see where the entries could have been coming in, but that trickle is what's making it difficult. These pullbacks. It's getting more and more constrained as the session is unfolding. You notice over here. It's getting more and more constrained. So that's why, you know, like we got in like a pretty good time because we were still breaking into that accumulation right over here. But you see, for the most part, the more it's in this range, it's like you're gonna put a lion in a cage, you know. The lion's gonna start to feel a bit agitated. So that's what's gonna happen here soon. You're gonna see it. There might even be a liquidity grab. You might even see some kind of like liquidity grab before we start to break out of this range. Like an aggressive play. But you see there's like minor pushes. It's just like a minor push within the small little range that you could possibly have filled. See, the market actually knows this. That's why we trade within the ranges, correct? Trade within the valleys. Preferably. See, like even like right over here. Boom, break above that high to fill up that range towards resistance. So accumulation breakout, beautiful SMA confluence. And that's it, like boom, boom, boom. Locked in. That's good, sir. Because after today, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, you gotta be locked in, right? You have to be locked in. After we get these tariffs dropped, man, there's gotta be volume in gold. There's gonna be a lot of volume. So sometimes I don't even want to wake up because I'm already up for the month so much over here. I don't even want to wake up. But I can't sleep thinking that today could have been a bomberclad. Especially following what is to come today, the macro fundamental coming out today. I can't sleep knowing that price could possibly be pushing up. You know, that's all I'm thinking when I'm in bed, getting ready to wake up for the London session. Thinking like I could sleep, but at the same time, man, price could be pushing up right now. And if you show up every day, you never miss a quotation lucky day. You see, like this trade over here, this 9.86% trade, this was just taken normally. But you see, when we got into this buy, it pushed. It gave us a good push. So if we didn't wake up for the session, then we would have missed a potential 9% day. You know, that's going to be like the same thing that's going to happen tomorrow. We might get a nice 9% day. You know, I risk like 2% a trade. Correct? I risk 2% a trade. So maybe like 1.4 risk reward. Close to 1.4.5 or something of the sort. So that's why it's important to show up. And it's important to know what volume is coming into the market, right? So when you're gonna turn on the news, and then you're gonna see this pulling up into Iran. So this is going to be, this guy's talking too much. This is going to be your volume indicator. This is a volume indicator right over here. That's what you gotta focus on. Right? This is the best volume indicator that you're ever gonna get. Instead of these small volume indicators which show you like in these tiny moments of structure, you know, tiny moments of structure, you just gotta learn how to read price action. You just gotta see what price is doing, where it's heading, what are your entry confirmations. You just gotta know that. You gotta be able to read candlesticks. But if you want to read volume, you gotta know how to read the news. Right? So when you gotta see this on TV, you gotta know that the market's gonna move. These are like tiny movements, man. You don't need to overcomplicate tiny movements like this. On your intraday charts. You just gotta learn how to read price. Trump's State of the Union speech is at 9 p.m. Eastern in the US. Check your local time zone. Yes. Yeah, check your local time zone, and then you're going to see when he's speaking, you're going to watch gold, and you're going to see how gold's going to move. But, you know, don't worry about trading it at that very moment, because that volume, it's not like an intraday volume. It's going to be a higher time frame volume. So that's going to last us throughout the week. At least for this week, for sure, that's going to be enough fuel in the tank to get us through the week over here, so we can have some pretty nice pushes. All right, so we can have some pretty nice pushes. That will be enough. And then we'll see how it carries over into next week, because now next week we're getting closer and closer to a potential escalation or strike from the US into Iran. So now next week we'll also have some, it should have some more volume in there too. As of right now, you see this whole choppiness is just due to the talks today. Because, you know, I think gold doesn't also know how to exactly act right now, because tariffs are going to make the dollar stronger. But at the same time, the dollar is overall weakening. So it's kind of like a little bit confused. And we're down right now about 1% on the daily. So stick with that direction. If it keeps pushing down, then definitely you want to be looking for more sells. But if we start breaking above, especially above resistance by 51.90, that's going to be the key thing that we would love to see into more towards the tail end of the day. I believe that could happen. And into Wednesday, for us to start playing within these ranges to hopefully break up to the upside. And maybe for the tariff news, we might just get some further sharp movement to the downside, and then gold will kind of recalibrate and then start moving back up again in anticipation for a further upside momentum. As you can see already on the daily, we are breaking above. We are still moving upwards. Vic, it's tomorrow. He keeps saying today. It's tomorrow. What do you mean it's tomorrow? It's scheduled here. Today is Tuesday. It's at 9 p.m. (3 a.m. EU time). Oh, in European time, yeah, 9 p.m. That's 9 p.m. Eastern. 9 p.m. Eastern here today, you see. President delivers a State of Union address. Yeah, okay. Today, USA, tomorrow, the EU. Yeah, when that first bomb lands, ooh, it is gonna be looking real good for the yellow rock over here. It's gonna move up. Yellow rock, people are gonna be running to the stores to buy the yellow rock when that first bomb lands. Boom. War is old men speaking and young men dying. So sad. And then in the end, the old men, they're going to be working together. I'm hearing the Iran situation is just waiting on a go signal. It depends on locations of various people in the Iranian leadership. See if it's setting something up again on the 1 minute. Just a small V-shaped reversal. Oh, small V-shaped pullback. It's got lots of heavy lifting here. Let's draw. It's really tight ranges. There's about 25 pips below that support. Very tight. It's getting tighter and tighter and tighter. So we're about it. We might see a strong sharp movement soon. Even if you draw a few trend lines in there, you might see something of a bit of a compression going on as it's getting tighter and tighter and tighter. Then we're gonna see like a strong sharp move come out of that. That's what it needs to do. It needs to open up. It needs to breathe. Tight. I've been trying to watch Breaking Bad. I didn't finish season 1. It's a really nice series. People really love Breaking Bad, but it's kind of hard for me to get into it. I don't know why. I get the idea, but it's not hooking me like Snowfall. I'll just be watching it to watch it because, you know, it's like a good show, but it's slow in the beginning. Give it a chance. Yeah, I'm towards I think I got one more episode of season 1. I got the whole season right here. Let me see if I even got the folder. Got the whole season right here. This is, so you got the Pirate Seas. I got season 1 already fully downloaded. Got season 2, 3, 4, all the way to 5 over here. It's season 5 over here. Pretty good quality. Pretty good quality. I think after I'm done with Snowfall, I gotta pay my dues for Breaking Bad. Stop spoiling it. Jesse Pinkman. Those two got a tequila company together in real life. Anybody try it before? Anybody try Breaking Bad tequila? Yeah, I see it's pretty tight over here. We came straight to the wick. Straight to the wick and then started rejecting it. Got to pay dues. Nice little accumulation that's forming in there. Potentially for a break to the downside. It's only path of least resistance is about like 25 pips. Anything above here is a lot of heavy lifting. That's the only clean bit of candles. But even it's not even the most appetizing. So this is definitely it's gearing up into one of these patterns, one of these triangle patterns like this. So volume is about to break out soon. 3D stream. Got the Pitchfork trading view tool here. You just need 3D glasses, then you're gonna see it come through the screen. You know, the worst thing is when they make movies 3D in the cinema, they kind of just ruin the movie. Remember when like 3D came out, everything was in 3D. But not every movie is meant to be in 3D. Right, 3D movies are trash. Rather go to one of those 4D cinemas where you get the wind blown on you, where you get like water spray on you, the chairs move and vibrate. Minus the 3D glasses. Now let's see. 1 minute here. It's accumulating to break. It wants to move somewhere. It's just gonna really struggle to move anywhere right now. So let's see US 100, how this is setting up. NQ. NQ is setting up for NQ daily flipped plus 24% right now on the daily. It looks like since we got that fake out that happened here, since it already retraced upwards, it's creating like that structure, maybe potentially come down to fill this range. So it probably washed the or rinsed the sellers over here, because remember, like breaking this range, when we start breaking below that support on the 30-minute, you got clean traffic down here. So basically this was like a small liquidity grab. And I think what NQ has done, Goldie's breaking out. Yeah, it has to break out, chat. Like this thing is stuck. So that's why we're expecting like some kind of a sharp movement so it can get out of this whole zone. So that's why we're starting to see Goldie here waking up a bit more. So I see you got that heavy lifting right over here. That's really got to push through those zones. So you got like a heavy weight on you. You really have to push so you can get through those levels, correct? So we need to open up your own gold spot. That's what it's trying to do right now. It's trying to do well. It's NQ, since we got that fake out and it's already retraced to the highs, I think even a sell continuation would make sense below that support. So it's breaking below here to come and retest these lows. That's going to be a pretty decent, I think 29 pip range. Let's get through this level by 24,780. Boom, boom. Candlestick close below it. Be nice if there's a little breakout situation on the 1 minute there too. But that's what NQ is trying to set up right now, because it's created a resistance up over here. And if we got a resistance over here, then you know, like, how's price going to move up? How's price going to move up? It's much easier for it if it just broke below support, broke these wicks, and then came down. To move up, we'll have to see price at least close above this resistance over here, and then we could probably see like this high get met. Got potential shorts on NQ whilst Goldie's trying to break. Can we get the break?
Why are you running? Why are you running?
Question is, can we get the break on Goldie? Can Goldie finally find its way above wicks by the range high? At least that 51.85 mark. If you break above 51.85, you're going to see volume come in. It's going to break out of here, and then it's going to start moving up. Or it's going to have a higher probability that maybe we could start moving up over there. So it is a bit of a doozy here today regarding this range that gold found itself in, because the big dump, remember, is because of the tariffs, right? Now it's accumulating and it's thinking what it's going to do. Is it going to continue dumping because, you know, we still haven't had Trump speak yet? Or is it going to price in the dump for later and then move up into Wednesday onwards? So pricing in of the dump could look something like this. It would push above this area, and then we're gonna get like the sharp movements down again during that New York session time towards the tail end of the day, following the tariffs, and then slowly and gradually we're gonna start moving up again. And maybe pre-London time we'll see ourselves up already like 1%. This typically seems to be case. Do you think it'll manipulate us to resistance before distributing down? I would say if it breaks out of this resistance, you know, the thing is you don't have to be right, but you have to at least be able to catch a move. So if it breaks out, ideally if it breaks out like 30 pips, 30 pip breakout, that would also be pretty nice. Overall, it can fake out, you know, who cares? You know, when you try and predict the market, you're going to lose anyway. But if you're going to have like at least a breakout with a good amount of pips that you can secure something, then that's what we want to see, correct? Because it's accumulating for so long. So when we get the breakout, it should break at least with like 30 pips, I would say. At least 30 pips, because the accumulation is so big. Once it starts breaking above the high, at least 30 pips. And then it can do whatever it wants. You know, the whole idea is like trading. You got to take your trade and secure your profits where you think like price can reverse. That's like 16, 20 pips or 30 pips. And then whatever happens beyond that point, it's none of your business. From the moment of entry to where you're supposed to manage or secure profit. And then anything that happens beyond that point, it's none of your business. Leave the speculation for the gamblers. You know, you just make sure you're getting yours. Right? You get yours and you manage your risk and, you know, call it a day over there. That's all that you got to do. So that's why I'm saying like at least 30 pips above that break. Just leave the people who want to be right and they're going to do something like this and expect like this whole area to get corrected. Leave those people be right. You know, it wouldn't make a difference for you. Because you could either do this with a really big stop loss trying to be right and even still make the same risk to reward that you would make for a quick push right over here. But this is going to be a lot harder to get this whole move. It's a lot harder to speculate on such a big move, obviously. So yeah, let's see. 30 pips, chat. We'll see that idea if it happens on stream here. If it happens, otherwise we're gonna see today or tomorrow. At least a break above here to at least give like maximum of 30 pips. Realistically, just needs to be anywhere between 16 plus for a good 101. 16 plus. But we should see at least 30 pips maximum. Just made my third. Thanks so much, Vic. Just made my third W for the day. I'm done until this range breaks. Yes. You gotta wait for this range here to break. That's why, you know, we've had the whole day to trade. We've been on the chart since pre-London, London Open. We've been active. You know, it's a good thing we've been active because you see when the day unfolds, it's no longer the early bird catches the worm because most people are gonna be more active during these times. So you always gotta start the day kind of fresh over here. So you see, this is where we started our day right here. So this morning, basically the idea behind the trade was we had a support. We had another support over here. And we also had rejection wicks. So following those rejection wicks, you know, and the daily bias being bearish, we also got accumulation breakout on the 1 minute that we took. In the candle here, actually the accumulation had already broken. I wasn't stuck in yet. I wanted to see a rebreak of the support because it was right next to the entry. And then got in at the break of the support. Boom. Right over here, and then expecting this range to get filled down towards support. And you see that was a pre-session time. See how it's still fresh it is over here? You know, we're still pretty fresh. And then we came in, you know, it was a pre-session buy over here on gold spot. That was a really nice buy. We got some TFX confirmations. Look like the first buy here was a fake out though. It broke first. It could have possibly been an accumulation over there. the 1 minute, but broke. It faked out manipulation, but then eventually cleaned up that range. So if you could avoided that, that was a pretty nice move. And then we came in for the London, boom, 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 took our sell. And then you see as the day unfolds, it's getting more and more sketchy. One sec, chat. All right, so Goldie's starting to dump here. It's like we are getting that bearish continuation. Seems like that's the order for the day, following shortly before Trump comes on. It looks like in NQ, man, you see that's that NQ behavior all the time, right? Like breaks. It breaks. Technically, it should be moving down, but you see NQ loves these little like pullbacks. Keep getting like loads of pullbacks on NQ. But yeah, you see it's weakening. It's weakening as breaking below support over there, but it should be coming down. Like fill this area out. Like gold spot's starting to run quite nicely right now. You see there's lots of heavy lifting over here. The price needed to get beyond these points. The only clean traffic was literally beyond here to here, which was 20 pips. And now this is just a continuation because of the daily trend bias. That if you're always trading with the daily trend bias, then you always have a higher chance that a price can get through certain levels in the direction of the daily candle, which is now bearish. So let's remove this. We're back down to support. See what direction this thing breaks overall. I think also it just tested the highs there too, actually. It tested the highs. You got resistance here and here. So it's come up towards the highs. Now back down to the bottoms. Back down to the buyers coming in to buy support. So it's still readily the same because you still got a resistance right here too. So that's the one that reacted off of. Got buys at the lows, sells at the highs. Here where we took a sell at the highs as price was coming down to retest the lows. Then it retest the lows, then price went up to retest the highs, and that's what's been happening all day here. Got liquidity grab on NQ. It should be going down. It should not even have pushed up that much if it wants to move down bearish. This is just, you know, when you look at a wick like this always looks like a bit out of place, correct? So it shouldn't have even pushed up here, to be honest. Like if you want to keep moving down bearish, it looks a little bit out of place, but that's the nature of NQ. It's a bit of a Judas pair. It's the nature of markets in general, but this market specifically is definitely more Judas in terms of these events. But yeah, I would love to see this thing continue to come down. At least it still kind of respected the highs of the 5 minute that broke below support. Like it came right next to that area. See, like right to the T. Right next to that area. Still respected that. This was kind of like the entry confirmation candle right over here. It came right to retest it. Maybe even took people out due to XY reasons. And then still anticipating for it to come down. Look at that. Look at what a cheeky candle this is. Look how cheeky this is. Look at the way it even closed right over here. Like a small innocent doji. Just an innocent doji which wicked all the way up here so it can close small like this. Low volume. It's a very cheeky pair, this one. Instrument. Very, very, very cheeky, that one. But you see, gold is a bit more solid, you know? Like when you trade gold, even when I just look at the way the candles print, it just, to me, feels more solid. More grounded. That's why the richest person on earth, in history, Mansa Musa, his kingdom was built on gold. You know, it's a strong thing to have gold. You hear about the story of Mansa Musa, richest man in history. This is the guy. Everywhere he went, he was just, you know, just had like so much gold. Gotta trade gold. If you're not trading gold, I don't know what you're doing with your life. Can I ask a question? Just ask the question. Don't ask to ask a question. That's how you're gonna get whips. Keep asking to ask questions. Don't worry about hurting people's feelings. You know, that's on them. You know, whenever you worry about someone hurting somebody's feeling, just always remember that is their problem. It's all based on their emotional intelligence. It has nothing to do with you. So if you gotta ask something, you just gotta ask something like straightforward. Don't worry about that. If they're emotionally intelligent, they'll understand where you're coming from. Right? If they're emotionally intelligent, they're not gonna hold it against you. One time I was crossing the street in Germany, and I was kind of like I was kind of jaywalking, and this guy was pretty close to me with his car. He waited for me ahead. Got out of his car, and then started shouting at me in German. I had no idea what the hell he was saying. But you see, I was emotionally intelligent to understand this guy is a dumbass, that he's even doing this in the first place. But at the same time, I kind of messed up on my part. So I just let him vent it out. And then he understood I had no idea what he was saying. And then he went away. But then, you know, that was my emotional intelligence to understand, like, this guy, you know, God knows what's going on in his head. But there was wrong done on both sides, in a sense. But you know, you're gonna like not worry about so much if you know, you just assume that people are emotionally intelligent when you ask your questions, and if they're not, then that's not your problem. See, that's emotional maturity. Yeah. It's not your problem. It's not your problem. You don't worry about it. You don't worry about it. If your buddies think, maybe, for example, people think you're not reaching out to them enough because you're on your grind right now. You're trying to make a living you're trying to make like generational wealth. You're trying to really build yourself up. Especially with trading, it's a very isolating thing. So you end up really, you know, people are going to wonder like, hey, you know, where's Architect? You know, why you been so quiet and all these things? Like, they're gonna understand if they're emotionally intelligent what it is that you're doing. Correct? But if they don't, just let it be. Just let it be. That's why I like some of my buddies, you know, like you only gonna meet some of your buddies like once every few months. Have a really good time with them, and then you're both emotionally intelligent enough to know that that this is it for now, but you're gonna see each other again in the next few months because you're both trying to level up in life. And those are the buddies you're gonna have for life. You know, when you have people who are emotionally intelligent around you, you're going to have them for life. Me and bro, after a successful hangout, and we're not going to see each other for months.
Guess that's that being. It is what it is.
And that's it. That's it. See, because that's going to also reflect in your trading. Like, are you also emotionally intelligent in your trading? Imagine that guy who got out of his car to yell at me and took the time out of his day to park the car, to give himself all that anxiety and the stress of finding a parking and all that shit building up just to come and vent. Imagine that guy in the market. Imagine what the market is going to do to that guy. You got to tear him apart. So you see, the most wealthy people are the calmest people. Super calm. You don't even know that they're rich. You know, they're super calm. They're very humble. You wouldn't even know. You know, you're never going to see them do dumb shit like that because emotional intelligence. That's why I mean, like, sometimes you gotta always like reflect on other things in your life as well, and how you react to other things in your life. It will come out in your trading too. Now that's the thing about the market. It will reveal you, the true you. There's no hiding from it. Let's see. 5 minute came down. It's created like a really good range here. The good thing, it's breaking into different PAs. So if you noticed, we're no longer focusing on all of this right over here. Now it's become noisy. You're gonna focus on this, where that the market just broke into the range right over here. Now that becomes the important part. Now you can like actually expect some cleaner moves to come out of this region. You see this, how it like completely just switched up. So this is looking a lot better right now. So we're always taking the market in bite-sized pieces, right? So whenever we get a good movement like this, now we don't need to focus on this anymore. That's kind of like old history. You can consider the market still ranging, but it's broken into a new channel of opportunities here. So it's going to set up something again here and potentially look to correct that range. So it's going to probably set like a point A over here, head up to point B. Because a sell is still very shitty for a sell, because for a sell you have way too much support down over here. You see this? There's so much heavy lifting to do for a sell down below that support. So next best thing, it's going to set up here to potentially move up there. So just wait for your entry confirmations, but that range here is going to get mopped up, or there's a good probability once you get that entry confirmation that it is going to get mopped up. But I will see y'all tomorrow. Good luck on the tariff news, after the tariff news, and the opportunities we're going to get tomorrow. So lock in, guys. This is where it gets really interesting on Gold Spot. And I will see you all tomorrow. Adios.